Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura Flosstube. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. This is Flosstube number 58. It is May 28th, 2024, and I'm coming to you from the lovely Columbia, Missouri, which is filled with cicadas right now. Oh my goodness. Over the past week and a half, the noise level outside my house has went from decent to what the heck is going on. The cicadas are loud. If you are not in the region where the cicadas are waking up and climbing their way out from the earth, you are really missing out on some noise. They are so noisy and they're everywhere. I go out in my front yard and they're just swarming around the trees, and yeah. So I've been spending a lot of time indoors because I do not like the cicadas. But that also means I've been getting a lot of crafty things done, and I have so much stuff to share with you this Flosstube. I have some cross stitch, I have a finish, I have some progress, I have possibly some new starts that I'm going to be putting together. I have lots of quilting stuff, I have video updates galore, I have a sew along update. I mean, there's so much to discuss. So we're just going to get started, and I'm going to show you my first cross stitch finish. If you've been following along, I think 2 Flosstubes ago, I kitted this project up and I told you that it was like a little bookmark from Told in a Garden. I didn't have any picture to go by. I only had the chart. It's on a little bitty bookmark postcard type piece of paper. And so I haven't even been able to find this online where someone else has finished it. But I have a finish. This is Told in the Garden Sister's Quilt. And I did switch up the colors. If you want to go back and see the colors I used, go to Flosstube 57, maybe 56, and I showed all the colors that I was going to be using for this. I did use anchor floss. I stitched on a 28 count Lugana, and I love it. Like I said, I chose my own colors. I switched everything up except the black, I would say. So, and then I just put it in this little frame, and it finishes right around 2.5 by 4. This is a 3.5 by 5 frame. So you can see it fits in there really nicely, and I could not be happier with it. So a finish, yay, yay, yay. So in addition to that, last Flosstube I showed you I had finished the featherweight stitch. I have not gotten it framed. I also have not framed the Doreen Jones Christmas stitch along sampler set that she did. So both of those are still waiting in the wings to be framed, but as soon as they are framed, I will share their fully finished item with you as well. So my other stitching, I actually have decided to focus on the Prairie Schooler Santa. So I've been working a lot on the 1990 Prairie Schooler Santa. So let me get him out and show him to you. I've made quite a bit of progress on the Santa. So I do have his beard stitched in, and he does have a little squirrel friend and almost has a little raccoon friend down there. I got part of the border done. I'm just kind of jumping around really. Sometimes I work from the center out. Sometimes I start in the top left. Sometimes I apparently go random, and that's kind of what I'm doing with this one apparently. So I got his face because I just feel weird when I'm stitching my Santas and they can't see me. I don't know. Anyway. So I stitched his face in there, and then I was like, oh, I want him to carry his little bunny, so I got the bunny done, and then I was like, ooh, he needs his basket done, so I got that done, and he doesn't have a coat on yet. Well, he has part of a coat. So, I'm just kind of jumping around wherever, I guess, and stitching what I want to stitch. And so far it's been working out fine. I haven't had any issues. I haven't had to adjust the pattern any because I made an oops or anything like that. So I love the Prairie Schooler Santas, and I have done many of those. I have a goal to try to get 6 of those done this year. This will be my first one, so I'm a little bit behind, and I'm not going to hold myself to that 6 a year goal because I don't think it's going to happen, but that's okay. I am just enjoying them as I stitched along with the different annual Santas that they've released. All right, so we're going to talk about the March goals a little bit. I did say that I wanted to get 3 more squares in the Lori Holt You Are the Boss done, and this one is also on a 28 count Lugana cloth. With some called for DMC and some that I just substituted in because, well, I didn't have them or I didn't want to go shopping. So I do only have 3 squares left, and I've been doing 3 squares a month. So I do have my 3 squares for May completed. I just have the 3 squares left for June, and then this one will be a finish as well. So hoping to finish it up by the middle of June, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see where I'm at with the Santa and just kind of what, what I want to work on, basically. I'm just kind of going with that process for right now. Just whatever I feel like stitching is what I'm grabbing to stitch. But this is where I'm at with the Lori Holt You Are the Boss. My other in progress cross stitch, and I'm just kind of going through these because it's the last floss tube of the month, and I kind of want to show where I'm at, what I've done, and what my plans are, because we'll also talk about June goals for this floss tube. So, all right, so Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery has a series called Houses of Pumpkin Lane, and I do only have the first house done on that, but I do have quite a bit of a divider done underneath the homes. Now, I am not doing the lower borders that they have in the chart. I just decided to leave those off just because I am stitching on, this is also 28 count Monaco with called for DMC. And I'm stitching it on the 28 count 2/2. So basically it's a 14 count. So this is gonna make my finished design really big. So in order to kind of get it a little smaller, I'm not doing the borders like they have released on their website for this design. And I'm also not doing that bottom row of bordering underneath the houses. I'm only doing the houses, the top border, and then, the decorations, the flowers, and the name. And that's really just so I can keep the size down a little bit and make sure it doesn't get completely out of control on size for the wall. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing with this one is the second house, and let's see here, there's the pumpkin house. The second house is the chrysanthemum house. So this is what it looks like. I have not even started it. I'm hoping to get a few stitches in by the end of May because my May goal was to start the second house. So as long as I have a few little stitches in, then I will be able to say, well, it started, so that goal was met. Do you guys do that? Do you set goals and then you're like, well, let's just say if I have 2 X's in, then it's a start. And technically it is, so that's, where I'm at this month with that. All right, so my last cross stitch item is I made myself a new project bag and I love it so much. I made these blocks with selvages from a couple different fabric lines that Lori Holt has designed for Riley Blake. I know there's a calico line in there. There may actually be some of the backgrounds or something too. I'm not really sure. But so I made this like the selvages block, which I do have a tutorial for that on my channel. So if you're interested in how I made these selvages blocks, you can check that out. They're really quick and easy and I just loved it. And then I also made a floss keeper with some of the leftover selvages. And instead of doing the normal snaps that I normally do, this time I decided to put buttons. We'll see if I like them or not. I don't know. But I did turn it in so I have a nice little pocket inside that I can slip things into. I do have a magnet in this pocket so I can stick my scissors on there, my needle minder on my scissors. And then this little tab is just for sticking my needles into. I do line these with either a fleece or a felt because that holds up a lot better than the batting does. Same concept as when I was talking about the design boards. I really do like the fleece or felt more than the batting for those design boards as well. So that's my new project bag. So new project bag means I need a new project, right? So I have 3 choices and I was hoping you could help me decide. I'm probably gonna get this kitted up though before the next floss tube. So leave a comment down as soon as you can so I know what I should be kitting up. But here are my choices. I've narrowed it down to 3. I either want to do the Colorado Cross Stitchers Signpost Stitcher, which I think that would be a fairly quick thing to stitch. I don't think it would be too much. The border has quite a bit in it, but I don't think it'd be too bad. It is 205 by 113. They stitched it on an 18 count, basically, but I was stitching on 14 just because that's where I'm comfortable. There's choice 1. Choice 2 is Prim Village, but not the whole thing. I only want to do one little house with these little quilt blocks underneath it. So that's my second choice. I don't know which color I would do, although I tend to lean towards the teals just because that's like, you know, my favorite color. So, okay, so that's choice 2. And then choice 3 is a big one. I already have the pumpkin houses going, and it's pretty big, but I'll have my Lori Holt You Are the Boss finished up, which is my other like big project. So I'm thinking about doing the quilted Scarecrow and getting it started. So I don't know. Of those 3 choices, what do you think? I could do, and you know, the first 2 are ones that have been on my list to do for a while. The quilted Scarecrow is one that is a newer pattern that I just purchased. So I don't know. Which one do you think? The Stitcher Signpost, the Little House, or the Scarecrow? Leave me a comment down below, and hopefully you guys comment before I make a decision and just go rogue and do my own thing. Alright, so that is all of my cross stitch stuff. We're going to move on to quilting, and I will probably show you my progress on how to build a scarecrow. Quilting progress. Okay, so I am doing the Moda Blockheads 5 Group 2 sew along. They're releasing one block a week on Wednesdays, and I am current with those. I haven't shown my progress on those on a Flosstube like live recently, so I'm just going to show the last 2 blocks that I've done. I think that was 2 weeks ago, and then this one was this last week. So there are those 2 blocks for Moda Blockheads. I have, I think, like 31 blocks done now. There'll be 40 total for the entire program, but I'm going to be making 42, or maybe there's 39. There's 39 for the total, so along with Group 1 and Group 2, but I'm going to be making 42, so I have enough blocks for my king-size bed for a quilt top for it. So that is the Moda Blockheads. Oh, and I guess I should share. I'm using the Basic Gray Decorum line. I don't know if that's a current line or not. I just got a lot of the fabric probably about a year ago or so when it was on sale with Fat Quarter Shop. And so I had a Fat Quarter bundle from my husband, and then I bought some yardage to go with it. So it's Basic Gray is a Moda designer, and they actually used to design scrapbook paper, which I really loved, and so now I love that they're making fabric. So this, like I said, this is by this is Basic Gray Decorum. All right, so I'm also started the How to Build a Scarecrow, which is the current Lori Holt sew along. You need Sew Simple shapes for this one. It is one of her easy applique quilts. I've released a couple videos to kind of help with this sew along. Not that she doesn't do a great job, because she really does, but there are just a few things that I've learned along the way that I thought might be beneficial to others. So I released a video this past couple weeks, one of them on just preparing for sew-alongs and whether or not you should pre-cut your fabrics or not, and just some tips and tricks on that. I also released a video on organizing your Sew Simple shapes, and then this past week I released a video on the Autumn Star, which I'm going to swing you around so you can see my Autumn Star progress, and just how I get those blocks together, and just using the webbing process, and just the assembly, and how to get all of that efficiently and effectively completed without too much pain and anguish. So let me turn you around so you can see my first week blocks and 19 of the 22 Autumn Stars. Alright, so on the design wall, you don't get to see all of the Autumn Stars, but most of them are there. They're all hanging out right now. Now, like I said, I have 19 of the 22 of those Autumn Stars done, and that's the border blocks that go around the outside of the quilt. And then the crows and the moons were week 1. Week 2 actually is this week, and I don't have any of those blocks done yet, but I will have before the end of the week. This week, I believe we're doing the gloves, the sunflowers, and the word that says Scarecrow. So a few more blocks this week than last week, definitely more shapes than last week, but they should come together rather quickly. And if you watch on how to prepare for a sew along, you will see how I got all of those blocks kitted up in advance. So really this week all I'm going to be doing is grabbing the baggies and getting those together. Alright, so the next quilting thing is our Dutch chocolate quilt, and this is a sew along that I'm going to be hosting here on my YouTube channel. It is a quilt out of the Perfect 10 quilt book from Fat Quarter Shop. I do have a link in the description box below for you, so you can get that book if you don't have it, if you want to sew along. I will be making the Dutch chocolate quilt. Now, if you've been watching for the last few episodes, you know that I am going to be using 3 fabrics, not complete scrappy like they did in the book, and I'm going to be using yardage, not pre-cuts. So I'm going to be sharing just like some math on how to take a pattern that's scrappy and change it into more controlled. And then we'll be sharing progress every week. So those videos, I plan to get the first one together and released by June 6th. And then I'm hoping that's a Thursday. And then I'm hoping I will have 1 video a week until the quilt top is together, just to give a progress update or more tips and tricks of things that I'm doing for that quilt. I'm really looking forward to sewing along with you. And if you're going to be sewing along with me, please comment down below. I'd love to know which of you are going to be sewing this quilt. I'm super excited to get it together for my stepdaughter so she can have that for her new place this fall. So this definitely is a project that has to be done rather quickly because she is going to be moving into her new house in the middle to late August. So I don't have that much time to get it together, so those videos should be together and out and ready fairly quickly. I'm hoping to get the quilt top done by at least the middle of July, so I have time to quilt it and get it finished before she moves in August. So that is an update on the Dutch quilt. The Dutch chocolate quilt along that I'm going to be doing. And then the other thing that I have done is I did release a video a few weeks ago on working with some vintage linens. That first quilt project has already posted on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. I took some tea towels and turned them into a quilt top. Yes, I know that Sunday was upside down. I fixed that. So I'm just kind of seeing where I'm at with those. But I'm going to give you a spoiler and a teaser. I do have fabric selected. This is a really pretty soft yellow with some cute little flowers in it. And this is an older fabric. I got this from a friend who was downsizing her fabric stash. So it's been, you know, a while. And to be quite honest, I don't think it even has, it doesn't even have like a manufacturer or anything on the selvage, so I can't tell you what this is, but it's super cute and I love it. And then that's what I'm using to do the next project, which is the pillowcase quilt. And I do know and I value your opinions and your suggestions on different things to do with these pillowcases. I definitely know that a lot of people love using them. Now, just to give you some context though, these items were given to me to do something with for the charity that we support in Mexico, Missouri. The family wants to support the Easter basket project, so they want to make some kid-sized quilts for those baskets and have them donated. So I'm trying to respect that and come up with cute ideas to do with vintage linens at the same time. So with that in mind, this will be turning itself into a cute quilt top for a kiddo for an Easter basket this next year. So stay tuned for that video. I'm hoping to get that done in the next couple of weeks and get that posted on the channel as well, so you can see how to use some of those embroidered pillowcases if you have a surplus like some of us do. Or if you find them in thrift stores or whatever, just another idea of something to do with them rather than just letting them collect dust in the closet. So that is kind of my quilting update. Lots of fun things going on and lots of quilting time in store for me, which I have to start balancing again because class is starting up pretty quickly. So with that, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some of the latest videos in case you haven't seen them. I did release, like I mentioned, that video about the vintage linens doing the tea towels into a quilt top. So that one is out there for you. And then with the Lori Holt sew-alongs, I have the Autumn Star block on how long it's going to take to put that block together, and also pre-cutting for sew-alongs and getting organized. The Christmas tree quilt that I've been working on so much. Oh my goodness, it was the projector project that I started. I projected the image onto my design board and traced all the shapes and then put that quilt top together. I am super excited how that project has come together. I actually have the last video for it for the quilt top assembly, ready to post later this week. So stay tuned Thursday because the quilt top reveal for the Christmas tree quilt is coming your way later this week. I don't have it quilted yet, but when I do get it quilted, I'll be recording portions of that and then also portions of the finishing and then the grand reveal of it on the wall with a few ornaments hanging on it. I'm not going to dig all my Christmas stuff out for you in June, so don't hold your breath on that one, but I'll get a few ornaments to hang on the quilt so I can do that grand reveal after it is finished and has the sleeve and all of that good stuff and the buttons sewn on it. So that's coming soon as well. Thank you so much for all the comments and the suggestions. Many of you have given me ideas for just different tutorials and videos to add to the channel, just to add some content that you're looking for. So I have been jotting those down and they will be added as I can. I do have a few things recorded that we'll be posting over the next few weeks, and I plan on adding more and more to that as my time allows. So just stay tuned. If you've given me a suggestion and it's one that I haven't done or there isn't a surplus of those out there, then I am jotting those down and I will be getting to them as I possibly can. So with all of that, let's go and look at May goals and then let's talk about some June goals since this is my last Flosstube of May. Okay, so for May, you may remember that I said that I wanted to do some cross stitch stuff, and I did get the 3 squares for the Lori Holt done, and I put my little check mark there, so that makes me very happy. I did get the featherweight completed, which that was huge, you guys. I am so excited that that stitch is done. I am working on the 1990 Prairie Schooler Santa. Now I had down here that I might finish it with a question mark, and that just means that I knew that that would be a lofty goal to put on here, but maybe, and I don't know. I have another week basically. I have another 4 or 5 days to work on him, so he may be finished. Who knows? But if not, I'll finish him in June. It's fine. And then I also wanted to start the Told in the Garden Sisters quilt, and now, as I showed you at the beginning of this, it is finished for this month. And then the Doreen Jones was actually crossed off because I actually finished her before May even began. And then I wanted to start the second house on Pumpkin Lane, and that's not finished. But again, I have another 4 or 5 days, so that I'm confident I'll be able to get a start on it. I don't know how big of a start it's going to be, but it'll be some sort of a start. Now with my quilting, I wanted to stay current with the Moda Blockheads, which I have done that, believe it or not, with all those paper piece blocks that have been released in the last few weeks. Oh my gosh, I am shocked that I am current with that so long, but I am current and I have done all the paper piece blocks. I also wanted to get my Christmas tree finished, the quilt top finished, and that is done. I'm so excited to release that video for you guys. And then the Dutch chocolate quilt, I wanted to start it in May, but it's probably not going to get started in May. But those videos will start releasing in June. June 6th will be the first one. And then Angel Wings, I was trying to get 4 quilt tops for Angel Wings done this month, and I just haven't gotten that many done. I've gotten 1, and I might get a second one if I get those pillowcases together into a quilt top. That might happen later today. It might wait until later this week or next week. I'm not sure when that's going to be done, but as soon as I can get to it, it'll be done, and that's all. It's all good. It's all good. All right, and then I have some videos down here that I wanted to get released, and I actually have done quite a few videos for you guys. I'm excited to see your reaction to a couple of them that I'll be posting over the next couple of weeks. And I really love the feedback that I'm getting from everyone. So please continue to comment. Please reach out. Let me know your honest thoughts. I take all of it with constructive criticism, a viewpoint. So please make sure that you feel free to reach out. And I definitely know that I am not a pro at recording my videos, and I know that I have lots of things that I could improve. But anything that I can get from your suggestions and add into the videos, I do try to do that. And definitely topic ideas. I love that. I love that I can hear from you what you're looking for, and if I can provide that, I'd be more than happy to do so. So once again, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and I hope that you saw something that inspired you. Maybe you saw a design. Don't forget to leave me a comment below on which cross-stitch design you think I should start next. I hope you do tune into the Dutch Chocolate Sew Along, and if you're playing along, I'd love to know that too. That first video is tentatively releasing June 6th, which is next Thursday, so stay tuned for that as well. Hey you guys, I hope you are happy. I hope you are staying safe and healthy. I hope you're finding something to create some joy in your life. And until next time, happy stitching.